Alrighty, guys, we're 19-2 in our last 21 crowd pleaser teasers on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage. And before we go ahead and move on, just want to take a quick time out and welcome you to my NBA free pick video here today for Saturday, April 15th, 2023. Happy Saturday to you. Hopefully you're having a good weekend. Of course, my name is Brock Page, and I've been dishing out free sports picks right here on YouTube since 2016. I also sell my personal sports bets on patreon.com/BrockPage. Once again, guys, I'm 19-2 of my last 21 crowd pleaser teasers on that site. And if you sign up for that package here today, you're going to get access to that membership for the next 30 days. The math works out to be just 33 cents a day. And as an added bonus here, guys, you're also going to get access to all of my cheaper memberships for the next 30 days. Absolutely free. They're going to be included with your purchase. I currently have over 540 members who are signed up and active on my website right now. And you may be wondering what the difference is between what I do here on YouTube and what I do on my website. Well, what I do here on YouTube is I'll handicap the entire slate of games in any given sport, side and total. And what I do on my website is I actually share with you which one of these free plays on these videos that I'm actually betting on personally. And with that, guys, let's go ahead and dive into some free content. We're going to start off with the Nets at the Sixers, 1 o'clock Eastern tip-off. Philadelphia's -8, totals 215. Now, Philly failed to cover recently against the likes of Miami, Boston, and Milwaukee. They're also having all kinds of problems grabbing rebounds on the offensive end of the court. Philly's in the bottom 5 in the league in offensive rebounding at home. Now, they're going to have to slow down Nick Claxton, who snags just about double-digit rebounds a game. Now, Claxton's also the league leader right now in field goal shooting. He's got the highest field goal percentage in the entire NBA. Now, teammate Seth Curry, he's drilling nearly 41% of his attempts from beyond the arc himself. And aside from being a top 5 three-point shooting team, the Nets are also allowing fewer points a game than most clubs in the East. Now, injury-wise, Dwayne Dedmon and Daniel House, they're both questionable for the Sixers. When it comes to the total in this one, Philadelphia, they saw unders recently against the likes of Boston, Milwaukee, and Dallas. They're also one of the lower home-scoring teams left in the playoffs here. Philly's actually in the bottom 10 in the entire NBA in points per game in their own arena. Now, Brooklyn, on the other side of things, they're in the top 5 in defensive field goal percentage. They do a good job on the defensive end of the court. And they also saw 5 out of their last 8 stay under the number. Give me Brooklyn +8 under 215. Next game, Hawks Celtics, 3:30 Eastern tip-off. Boston's -9, totals 230.5. Now, the Celtics are scoring 121 points a game in the Garden, and they're a top 5 offensive rebounding team in their own building. Jason Tatum's grabbing 9 rebounds a game, and he also scores a team-high 30 points per contest. Meanwhile, Malcolm Brogdon's drilling 44% of his long balls. And speaking of three-pointers, the Celtics are limiting their competition to just 32% shooting from three-land at home. That's nearly a league best. Now, they're facing an Atlanta team who's one of the worst three-point shooting teams in the East. And when it comes to defensive play, the Hawks are allowing nearly 120 points a game in their travels. They're officially in the bottom 5 in the NBA in defensive points per game. Now, total-wise, the Hawks saw 5 out of their last 6 get over the total. Overs against the likes of Philadelphia, Washington, and this very Boston team. Atlanta's also 60% to the over in their road trips. The Celtics, on the other side of things, they saw 5 out of their last 7 get over the number. They're also 18-8 to the over against Eastern Conference opponents in the Garden. Give me Boston -9 over 230.5. Next contest, Knicks Cavaliers, 6 o'clock Eastern start time. Cleveland's the 5-point favorite at home, totals 216.5. And even though the Cavs are favored by a couple of buckets here, they've definitely had some issues covering the point spread lately. They actually failed to cover in 4 out of their last 5, and they've had all kinds of problems on offense. The Cavs are nearly in the bottom 5 in offensive boards per contest. And in their last 10 meetings with New York, Cleveland's actually been held to just 103 points a game. So if you're into historical trends, certainly want to think about that one there. Now, that should really come as no surprise. The Knicks have a lower defensive field goal percentage on the road than any other team except one. They also played their best basketball away from Madison Square Garden, and they've covered in 66% of their road trips. Jalen Brunson, he's scoring 24 points a night, and he drills nearly 42% of his long balls. Meanwhile, R.J. Barrett, he's scoring just about 20 points a game himself. Now, injury-wise, Julius Randle's still nursing an ankle. Keep an eye on him. Meanwhile, for Cleveland on the other side, Isaac Okoro is questionable. Dylan Windler's out. When it comes to the total, the Cavs saw 4 out of their last 5 at home stay under. The Knicks saw unders recently against the likes of the Pelicans, Heat, and Magic. Give me New York +5, under 216.5. And with that, we're going to jump into our next and final breakdown for the video. It's going to be in the Warriors-Kings game, 8:30 p.m. East. Sacramento's -1, totals 237. Now, the Kings are scoring more points a game than any other club in the NBA. De'Aaron Fox is scoring a team-high 25 points a game. He's also making 51% of his attempts from the field. Meanwhile, Domantas Sabonis is making 61% of his field goals. He currently leads the NBA in rebounds per game. And speaking of boards, the Kings are nearly in the top 5 in home defensive rebounds. They're facing a Golden State team who's one of the worst road teams in the NBA. Out of 41 contests away from the Chase Center, Golden State got the W just 11 times. And in addition to allowing 123 points a game on the road, the Warriors are also allowing their opponents to make 40% of their three-pointers against them when they travel as well. Now, injury-wise, Wiggins is questionable. Iguodala and Rollins are still out. And when it comes to the total in this one, Sacramento is one of the league leaders in overs at home. They're 27-14 to the over in the Golden One Center. That's good for 66% in that category. And when it comes to offensive production, the Kings are making 51% of their field goals in front of their own crowd. Now, Golden State, on the other side of things, they went a staggering 29-12 to the over in their road trips themselves this year. That's good for 71% in that particular category. And when it comes to defensive play, the Warriors give up more points a game on the road than any other club in the NBA except for one. I think the only other team that was worse was San Antonio. Give me Sacramento -1 over 237. And with that, guys, now it's time for our quick pick recap. Give me the Nets +8 under 215. Boston -9 over 230.5. New York Knicks +5 under 216 and a hook. With my next and final pick for the video, give me the Kings -1 over 237.